Good day, everybody. Everything new under the sun. Now, a lot of people have spoken about it already, but I want to talk about the Olympics and the opening ceremonies, which was blasphemous. It was. It reminded me of the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, where not only were individuals rebelling against God, but the community, the city as a whole, because everybody was involved, and it got to the city level. And I believe when it goes from the individual to the corporate or to the government or to the nation state level, I think that's when God acts. Galatians chapter 6 says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting." It says, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Now, the first verse number 6 here says, "Let him," and this is important, "let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth all the good things, in all good things rather." So if you know the word, you need to communicate it to others. And people need to know about this. Christians need to speak up, not violently, not angry, but they need to speak up and say, "Look, you're blaspheming God. You're making absolute fun of a very serious thing, the Last Supper, before the death of Jesus and the resurrection, which brought us salvation. This is a King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, God of all small g gods and big G God, if you will. He is the biggest, the powerful King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And so we had the situation here. And apparently they've come out and they've said some sort of an apology, or at least said we didn't mean to offend Christians. On Saturday, the organizers of the Paris Olympics scrambled to pressure social media platforms such as X to censor those who mocked and criticized Friday night's shocking opening ceremony. And many accounts were being disabled in Twitter, locked down, or the posts being removed or locked down. And then they found out, well, they couldn't keep doing that, so they had to come out and finally apologize for this. Even bishops in France were talking about this. The event, which featured drag queens, nudity, and scenes deemed highly disrespectful to Christians, sparked outrage worldwide. Now, if they did this to Prophet Muhammad, if they made fun of Islam, the Muslims would be coming out in full force. There would be riots in the streets if that were to happen. But no, of course they do it against Christianity. And that's how you know Christianity is the true religion. Because A, we're peaceful. We come from a peaceful, loving God, and that's what the Bible speaks all about. And B, if everybody's attacking you, there must be truth to the story you're telling, because Satan does not like the Christians. He's fine with the Muslims. He's fine with the Hindus. He's fine with everybody, every other religion, because they're not true religions. They go after the real. They go after the real religion of Christianity. So this group mocked, again, the Last Supper. There's videos. This is your head. You can go watch them. It's on Twitter. One interesting thing is that this horse rode. Let's see if we can get it riding here. And this was on the river. God will not be mocked. This is blasphemy. It says all satanic. Boycott the Olympics. Go woke. Go broke. And this person starts reading from Revelation chapter 6 or typed in. "And I look, and behold, a pale horse, and his name sat on him, who sat on him was death, and hell followed with him." Now, what does Revelation chapter 6 say about that? Let's go over here, and I will show you here. I'll play that again there. "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name sat on him was death, and hell followed. And power was given unto them over a fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword," not to kill a fourth part, but power over them, "to kill with the sword, with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth. There is a fourth part of the earth during the four horsemen of the apocalypse that some of which will die from the sword, with hunger and with death. And what religion kills with the sword? Well, this might be above the neck, right? This is the religion of Islam. Is there a reference there? I don't know. Could it be them? Because certainly they have billions of adherents, followers, and so a fourth part of the earth they may even currently cover that much landmass for all the Muslims in the world, to be honest. So this this would be the fourth horseman of the apocalypse, the final one that is upcoming. We're already seeing the second horse, war. We might have seen the first horse already through the pandemic. The second horse being war. The third horse being the scales, the economic collapse. And then, yes, out of that comes the famine and the death that comes out of that, and the totalitarian rule, and the putting the thumb down on the residents who are likely by that time rioting and desperate. So is this biblical? Is this apocalyptic? Folks, I think these are all indicators of where we are in the timeline of the return of the Lord. Again, you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, and I think you have to draw comparisons there. What happened when the whole city, the two cities indeed, were completely overwhelmed with evil and wickedness? That's when God sent fire. Now, Paris, France, they had a power outage. Prior to this, there were fires on the trains, or on the railway, and that shut down the railway. I think they've got that fixed now. Is that a little warning? Is that a little wake-up call to the people of France, to the people of Paris, saying, don't mock God, don't be blasphemous? Did they learn anything? No, absolutely not. And men's hearts are hardened from this sort of thing. They do not love the truth, and they will double down on this stuff. This will get worse and worse as we enter further into the last days. Then there's this image of, I don't want to show that, but some person's genitals hanging out of their pants during this. It was absurd. It was X-rated. It was pornography. Call it what you want. It was disgusting. And again, I go back to Galatians 6. Be not deceived, like all the people of the world. Remember, in the last days, most people will be deceived. The saints will not be deceived. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall also reap. The people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they sowed and they reaped. And they got what they deserved there through God's divine, pure truth, justice. And is that coming? I think, again, once it goes from the individual sin to the national sin, that's when God starts doing things on the national level, to the nation, to the people overall. When it gets into the hand of the government, and the government is complicit in that, then God's hand of blessing is absolutely removed. And that's when the wrath of God starts coming down, the divine wrath, the shock and awe, the biblical sorts of wrath that we see, again, when it moves from the individual sin and wickedness up to the nation state as a whole, and everybody's doing it. That's when the wrath of God falls. Now, there's going to be a few Christians in there. There absolutely are, just like Lot and his family in Sodom and Gomorrah. But they were removed before the wrath of God. We won't be here for the wrath of God. The next question is then, when is the wrath of God? And I believe that comes after the horse and the apocalypse. Read Revelation chapter 6, and you'll know from my timeline of the return of the Lord that I believe we are here for the introduction of the Antichrist. Now, the world doesn't know it. He's not revealed to the world yet. But we, the Christians, will understand and know at that time who that is. So pay attention. These things are moving fast. I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.